Good morning, happy Thursday, and welcome back to the You Good podcast, the podcast where oversharing is encouraged and the thoughts get real. I'm your host, C-Rod, and before we start today's episode, I want to give a quick content warning. In observation of Suicide Awareness Month, we will be discussing suicide, suicidal thoughts, and personal experiences with self-harm. If you are listening and this may be difficult for you, please skip or come back later. If you are struggling with suicidal thoughts, you can call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. I want to make it known that no matter what the struggles you are going through and no matter how hard life can feel at that moment in time, you matter, your life matters, and you are not alone. So let's get into it. I just wanna live with a heart wide open. I don't ever wanna feel fear anymore. No. We've made it to another episode, Nick. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing? Good morning.
Awkward turtle. I'm hurting. I've been sick for the last 4 days, and I don't get sick often, sick enough to where I had to take days off of work. It was kind of nice to just lay around and watch documentaries for the last 2 days, but trying to get over this non-COVID flu train smack in the face seasonal thing.
Well, I'm sorry you're feeling bad.
It,
Hope you get over it quickly. It's been 4 days, so it shouldn't be much longer, right?
It shouldn't be that much longer, but you tie that with the beating that the Ravens took from the Lions this week, and it's just been a cluster on top of the other.
I have absolutely no problems with how my football is going right now. In all
Dimes.
In all Indiana Jones. That is Indiana Jones to you, pal.
I do like that nickname. It is
Indiana Jones.
A very cool nickname.
Danny Dimes died in New York, and Indiana Jones is born.
Yeah. Just like Russell Wilson is about to die, and
he's already done.
Jackson
right?
Dart's is it Jackson Dart? Is that his name?
Something Dart.
I don't know. How was your week?
It's going all right. It's not too bad. Cannot complain.
Yeah, give me a one-word mental health.
Hopeful.
What?
Oh, the word. I was waiting for the word. Hopeful. The word for me is hopeful. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff accomplished at work, so that's good. And then just everything in my life is settling down, and so I'm hopeful that for what is coming.
I think there's been a progression over the last few weeks to a month.
The universe is beating you down, I guess, for a while, and then I think it's just the ebb and flow of life.
Yeah, I feel that. My word is probably just disoriented, and I kind of explained why. Maybe it's because of all the Sudafed and cough medicine that I've been drinking, but disoriented. The other day I woke up on the couch with my kids sitting right next to me, but not even noticing them. I still got up and walked over to Callie and asked her. I was like, "Hey, you're gonna go get Tegan from school?" And she's like, "It's 5:30." Like, Tegan has been home for 4 hours. And I was like, "Oh shit."
She's right next to you.
Disoriented. Whelmed. Callback. That's a callback.
Whelmed. Very whelmed. You are whelmed.
So, based off of kind of the cold opening for this episode, right?
Yeah.
I want to remind listeners that September is Suicide Awareness Month. And I think the older, like I mentioned to you, Nick, the older we get, I see a lot more darkness in the world, but also in people's lives. As we get older, there's a lot more death around us, a lot more tragedy. We lose people, we lose animals, we lose jobs, finances. And, even having Chris on last week, she mentioned suicide. And I know that you've mentioned it before. And I know that I have friends who have reached out that have dealt with that recently. So September is Suicide Awareness Month, and I want to not only share, your personal story, but talk to, you know, maybe the feeling that somebody like myself has had before, where we think about it, but we don't put actions to it, as well as, invite the listeners to, at the end of this this episode, towards, resources or towards hope in general. And I love that your word is hopeful, because this is a topic that needs hope, and, it needs light at the end of the tunnel.
For sure. Yeah.
So, please remember that if you are listening this episode, we will be talking about suicide. If anything is sensitive towards you, go ahead and skip, or if you're ready to listen through, we're going to get into it. We're doing this because it matters, and I have somebody right in front of me who matters, and it helps to kind of talk through this and talk honestly about it. I don't know how we want to start here, Nick, but,
I think we just let it flow naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. How about this? Walk me through maybe the beginning of, maybe not the event or the night.
Yeah, because it was
but
not
maybe what you think led up to it.
Oh, 1,000%. Like, because it wasn't that night. It was all the events that were happening in my life that were leading up to the events of that night that were the reasons. Sam broke her ankle in the beginning of softball season, like right before the
Your
season.
daughter.
Yeah, right before the season started. The season right before her freshman year. So like her last chance to get for me to coach her, really, selfishly, the last time that I was going to get that opportunity, and she broke her ankle the day before opening day, and it was terrible. She came to the first game, but then after that, she had stopped, just kind of checked out, and I was like trying to get her to just come to the games and cheer us on, like not even the away ones, just the local ones,
and she was down, that she was losing her last season to injury.
Yeah, she lost it. There was she was down for 6+ months. Like it was done.
Right.
Like there was no coming back. So she checked out and she moved on. And here I am coaching other people's kids, and driving 45 minutes one way to do so, like 3-4 times a week, so it was just a lot. And then like with her checking out, like I felt like abandoned. Like I just felt like, she didn't care, and like what I was doing for her didn't matter. And
right.
So that was like the start of it. That was like the beginning of this fall, like so February, like March time. So that's when it started. So, and because of that, and because she's a girl and all that, she wanted to be, started staying more at her mom's house, because her mom could help her more with, just everyday needs. So I'm just like, okay. So she stopped coming over more and more, and and then we started talking less and less. And so just like I said, like just the feeling of abandonment. And then
did you talk to anybody about that?
No, not at the time. No, like, I mean, yes, my friends, my parents, but like nobody like that could really help or relate. And so they were,
and not to her directly.
Oh, my kid? No, I would talk to Sam. I'll try to talk to her all the time about it. And that's probably why part of it is the way it is now, is just because she doesn't trust that I'm not, that way anymore. Like, just pushing and just trying not to, just holding on to everything just so tightly. And then, like,
Sure.
so while that happened, me and my relationship at the time was just going south. Mostly because I was not handling this situation well with my kid and not taking care of myself the way I'm supposed to be. And, like, where I had gotten myself years prior, just I got comfortable and just got complacent with life, stopped working out, I stopped going to therapy, I just stopped everything that I was doing because I was like, I got everything I want. And then when life started just happening, I was drinking all the time too. I was a bar back as well as my day job, so I was working all the time. I was barely sleeping. I was drinking all the time, like just numbing everything. And
Yeah.
uh, uh I was out with my buddy one day, and oh man,
Take your time.
it was a good day. Yeah, like it was me, my buddy, and my girlfriend at the time, and it was a good day. It was just a lot of drinking. And we posted up at a local brewery and just drank for hours, and I drank to excess. So me and my girl were going to go out to Daytona and play. My girlfriend at the time, my ex.
Yeah.
Let me just clarify. My ex girl. We used to play pool all the time, so I thought we were gonna go out to Daytona and play pool or just get into something. But drove me home, and I was like just in and out of consciousness at that point. Like not really, but like I was just sleeping, And when we pull up
Yeah.
to the house, I'm like, what are we doing here? So then it just was like, what the hell? And then the next thing I know, she's coming out with her stuff, like, oh, I'm going home. And I'm just like, what? And so that it just was it was just a trigger. Like, everyone leaves me. Like, that's just,
Mm.
that was the thought. And it just,
Because you were
that,
so drunk, just that one, the night's over. Now it's like
it wasn't
that
even the
that
night.
translates
It
to
was
everybody.
it was like early. It was like 6 o'clock. Like that's because we were out day drinking. So here I am, like 6 o'clock. She's going home, and I'm alone again, and I'm just like, this is not. Everyone leaves me, and up to leading up to this, I was just like, I don't want to be here. I think my poor mother, I think I told my mom that quite a few times, and she's just like, you need to get help. And I was just yes, yeah, yes ma'am, but not getting the help. And yeah, then that night, yeah. It's the day after, May 5th. So, and May the 4th be with you is always a great day, and then the 5th is not a great day. Um, yeah,
So it was the next day. It was not the
oh no,
day
I
of
had
day
May. No, no,
drinking.
no, no, no. There was the day drinking day. No, that's to
Oh,
say that was like May 4th happened. Day drinking day happened. Where I'm home I'm home here, and yeah, that's when I had it in my I yeah. Mm. Had it in my mouth, and I don't know what stopped me. I like. Uh, I really don't. And then I took it out and I put 2 rounds in my closet. Um, so it was working. And yeah, I don't. I mean, I would like to say my kid, but like, I was so fucked up that I don't know what what's this why I'm here, but I'm thankful I didn't do it.
I am also thankful.
And then like immediately the next day, I called my dad and I was like, "You need to get all of these out of here,
Yeah.
or I'm going to do something stupid." And then you know, still was going down that path. I was still drinking every day. I was still just surrounding myself with just bad energy and just just not good choices, and ended up breaking up. My ex girlfriend broke up with me, rightfully so. Lost my job. Like just
Hmm.
everything hit absolute rock bottom, and I'll never forget when I lost my job. Uh, pleading, pleading, like not for him not to do it because I had been there for so long, and uh, I'll never forget it. He's like, "I'm doing this for you," and at the time I didn't understand it,
Yeah.
but I I turned my shit around.
I love that.
Like I said, hit rock bottom.
Did you lose your job because of the episode, or because of just the
No,
drinking,
no,
or
no.
other
I
things?
just all the no, no. If anything, like they would have been more sympathetic. No, I
Yeah.
they didn't even really. They didn't know about it. Like nobody called the cops. Like it
Okay.
wasn't like that. Like
This was a self moment, a self
oh
episode.
yeah, yeah. Well, no, the I lost the job because of the choices I was making. The decisions, like the drinking, the out all like because I would be out all night and be get home at 3, 4 in the morning. I had to be at work by 7, 8 o'clock, so it just wasn't sustainable. So one of those went to the wayside, and I'm here, running a company and just not looking back, not doing what I needed to do at the time. I'm like, I'm doing everything, and I'm like, yeah, I could have done more. I could have done different. But luckily, I'm at where I'm at now. Like everything just happened the way it happened for a reason, and went got therapy. I mean, I was after the episode. I went and got help for that. Not the drinking or anything else, but just the dumb decision to try to do that. And I mean, I guess I wasn't try because I mean, I would have done it if I think it was more or less just like nah. I don't want to say attention seeking, but just like I'm at my wits end. Like like you, and it was the wake up call for me. Like I'm going to do it if I don't get these out of here because I something stupid like this is gonna happen. Some minor thing in my life's gonna trigger me to where I'm like, oh, I can't be here, and I'm like, that's such just narrow mindedness, but it's also like his alcohol
Yeah.
or whatever,
Well, that's
it's
so. I was.
just
Well, first one, I appreciate you sharing that. Right. It's one, not easy to talk about it in person to somebody or to think about it alone, but to talk about it on an episode of a podcast where people
yeah.
are going to listen to. Again, making awareness though, right, and hoping that this helps somebody who may be going through the same thing or thinking about the same thing, and so I appreciate you sharing that. My question is do you think if you were sober, Nick, right, today's Nick, does that thought ever cross your mind, or is it truly because of the alcohol?
Oh no, like I no, it never like the thoughts of not wanting to be here anymore are never like it's like not that I contributed that to alcohol. I think that's just where I was at. I think where like the
Where it
where I
takes
was
you?
gonna do it was probably because of alcohol.
Yeah.
But the thoughts were there probably before the alcohol, like the not wanting to be here, just the loneliness, the perpetually just alone, not embracing that, not not finding solace in the silence, not, just not making myself happy. I was always trying to find my happiness in other things. And when I took control of that, that's when everything turned around. That's when I, but no, yeah, I don't, yeah, I really haven't thought about not wanting to be here since that day. Um,
That's amazing. That's amazing. Do you think back and I know that you said you didn't talk to anybody about it, but or maybe you mentioned things to your mom, but were there like other signs that you wish somebody would have confronted you about sooner, or maybe that you would have sought help or spoke to somebody about sooner?
no, cause the problem was like I was being told to, get help, like, yeah, and I just was refusing at the time. Like I just, it's like I am, or, the therapist I was talking to, I wouldn't share, half of it, or just not working therapy the way you're supposed to work therapy. Just hearing what I want to hear, and then going back and justifying it, or just
Yeah.
uh, just trying to, yeah, just hold on too tightly to things. This is the best way. I was just like and now it's just like, like it's okay. Like everything it's gonna, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and I can't control that. So instead of trying to focus on the control, or uh playing a victim or any of that, it's just like, well, how do you want to react to that? Like, how do you want to react to the things that are happening to you? And one of the better books I read was, and I reread it again, is "The Man the Moment Demands," and it talks about being the man that every type of moment demands. And so instead of getting like overwhelmed, or like finding out why your anger is such a surface level emotion. So why am I angry? Like, why am I doing this? And then like getting down to the bottom of why am I destroying myself? And it's like, oh, okay, these are the reasons, and confronting those, and just wanting and needing to be better.
You said that you were seeing a therapist before this episode?
Yeah, yes and no. Like it was. I was telling my family, and I was seeing one every couple weeks, or however often it would appease people, and it was more or less like I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for the people around me. And then like when it got bad is when, like, that's when I was like, no, you gotta actually find a therapist that works, because like with you, and that you're not a, and then I went and opened up to 5 6 different people, and found one that understood where I was coming from, or at least made me feel that way, and then gave me the coping mechanisms I was so desperately lacking. Uh, I was not very emotionally intelligent at this time, and like like I said, I don't think I would have ever got to the point where I did anything if it wasn't for the alcohol.
Yeah.
But then it took, shoot, 6 months to stop doing that. Like, just to be like, I don't want to do that anymore. And there was no the reason I stopped doing that has nothing to do with to do with that part of it, because like I said, I went to work on myself, so where the alcohol didn't really, I didn't feel that way about myself anymore. I didn't feel like I wasn't worth anything. I didn't feel like everyone leaves me because I'm worthless. I didn't feel that way anymore. And so the alcohol didn't necessarily affect it towards the end, but just didn't want to do it anymore.
But you kept drinking, right? And
Yeah.
like how did it feel to like carry these thoughts after this episode where you kept drinking did you think about it again? Did you find it? Did you tell your friends like, "Hey guys, like this just happened to me last week," and what was that reaction?
I didn't. My ex girlfriend had told I think one or two of them what I did, and then
So you just kind of went about your business.
no, I mean I did. I did know. I did share. I mean, like I said, I went to therapy like after this happened. Like
Right.
I almost was. I almost went. I should have probably went in somewhere, but I was still working. I was still doing all this shit. So I started doing therapy 3 times a week. Just to not. And then anytime I had those feelings or anything, I would just get on the phone and start texting, someone. But I also knew that I didn't have a means that I was willing to do it with at that point, because like I said, I gave all that stuff to my dad at the time. Uh, so I, so like I mean, if I was gonna ever do it, I would have just shot myself.
Well, that was going to be my next question is being that, you're in that line of work, you own, those guns and it's a part of your life. Like if you didn't have a gun in the house, do you think that you would have chosen a knife or pills or, the other ways to
Well,
harm
no,
yourself?
because I don't think so. Because like I had all those options. I still have all those
Yeah.
options. I like I still had all those options. So no, like it was dead set. Like I'm gonna do it with this something, and even
Mm.
something yeah, something that I made. So just like
Yeah.
so, just it was just so dark. I just was so alone, man. And I wasn't alone. I just was in that mindset of like I'm just so alone. Like, and it's just like you're not. You're not
Yeah.
alone. Like
You were alone in your own mind.
there are so many people going through the exact same thing that I'm going through or was going through at the time, and it's just like I said earlier, such a narrow minded way to view the situation you're in at the time.
Well, I think my last question, so we can move on from just kind of your personal story is you mentioned that it was in your mouth and you didn't even like think about your kid. What was there anything that you thought about like in that moment that just stopped you?
I mean, I thought about everything. I don't think it was one thing. Like I can't like point to one thing. I just was like, she definitely ran through my mind. Everything that my family, all of that, and I'm just like, well, clearly, like I'm not. I'm not alone. If I have all of
These
this,
are the positives I have.
right, and honestly, like I don't want to say that I was a coward, but
No,
I,
no.
like it's something. I like I said, it's not a cowardice thing that I'm still here. So I would like to say maybe the logical part of my brain took over, even in the most
Sure.
blacked out but sense. Like maybe like I said, I used to think like I was like, oh, you're a coward, like yo, you couldn't even do that right, and it's just like no, like that's not it. So like I said, probably the logical part of my brain was like, no, you stupid ass.
Right.
You dumb fuck. I'm taking over now. Like, so
Well, I'm glad, I'm glad you were a coward in the instance because whatever word you want to use.
yeah. Like I said, that's not the right word, but I'll be lying to say if that I didn't say that. Like I definitely said that. Like especially afterward when I was going to therapy, all of that, and I would definitely battle with like, well, why didn't you just do it? And just those thoughts. And it took work, man. Like it took a lot of work to not think like that. To not when something happens like that, to where like, oh well, like, but it also took a lot to get to me to that point. Like I was constantly beating myself up. I was constantly just
Yeah.
tearing myself down, into where like, okay, now yeah, it has to be me, and now it's like, nah. Now it's like, no, I'm pretty good. I'm like, if anyone's not in my life, it's because they don't want to be. So it's on them.
Well, I mean, I can relate in the sense of, and I know that there are people out there who can relate to the sense of, hey, I am down bad, right? I am broken. I have been beat to shit. Like, life is hard. Life sucks. I'm a lonely moment. Maybe somebody's out there, on a drug fueled feeling. Maybe they're on an alcohol fueled feeling. And, you look around and you look at a knife, or you look at some pills and you think like, hey, it could be as easy as doing this and ending it. Right. But I think there's a big difference between a thought and an attempt. Uh, what's one thing that you wish anybody listening to this kind of understood about a thought versus an attempt?
Uh, I if you start thinking that way, start seeking help. Like, if you start to think like, oh, I don't want to be here, or if you are thinking like that, you need to start talking to someone, because they normally lead to the action. Like, at least in my experience, like I kept I had those, not necessarily thoughts, but like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this shit anymore. I don't want to do life like this. But then it's like, well, you don't have to do life how you're doing life. Like, you can do it a completely other way. But I was just so I was just so narrow minded,
Tunnel
just so
vision.
blinders. I was just like, no, this is the only way. This is what I want out of life. And it's like, well, what you want out of life is shit, and it's gonna kill you. And it's I wish I wish I also value I like I valued as life as much more. I now, obviously, like, just how precious life is in general. Like, the odds of just being here, the odds of being born where we're born, like, all of that is such a, like, we hit the lottery already. So, like, yeah, life might be tough, but the alternative is probably way worse. Like, we could be born in a different country, we not in the you know the life we were born into. Like, or we could even be born, like, there's that whole thing. So the odds of being born alone are so vast. Like, just appreciating what we have and where we are, and we're here for such a short time. Like, enjoy it, even the shit parts.
I love that, and I think, right, we move on from the experience, and we talked about what some of the warning signs were, right? Having those thoughts, talking to people or not talking to people. I think a big stigma about suicide awareness or suicidal thoughts is people are afraid to put it out there, right? They're afraid to say like, hey, the other night I thought this, or the other day I thought this, or, life is just terrible right now, and I'm thinking about doing this to myself. I think there's a stigma of like shame, and people might be like, oh, that you're crazy, you're crazy to think that. I love that your first thought was, I need to go get help immediately. Like, right? Even though people have been telling you and you'd been putting it off, this episode happens, you get past the attempt, and your first thought is to not like keep wallowing and keep drowning, but it's, hey, let me go get help. What, what is the role? What is that like, just getting past that stigma, getting past that shame, and being able to say to myself, like, okay, I need help now?
If anything, it's I have shame now, for what I did. Like, if anything, like, I look back, I'm like, that's what I'm shameful about. It's like, man, why did I let it get to that point? Like, why why did I do any of this? It's like that. It was so uncharacteristic of who I am as a person and who I've ever wanted to be. Like, why did
But
I?
sometimes that's all it takes, right? That
Right.
one that 1 second of being uncharacteristic, and it's all gone.
Right, and I'm just, and yeah, I could have ruined my whole life. I could have ruined someone else's life. I mean, like I mean, luckily they were what they were, and not something like they could have went through walls. And I mean, this could have went through walls, but they don't normally. So, no, it's just not. Yeah, I'm more shameful about not about where I was at and not getting the help that I needed than talking about the help and talking about it. Like, this isn't necessarily shameful. It's not who I've ever wanted to be, but I'm not shameful about like talking about it. I'm If anything, it's that. It's definitely, I tell most of my friends when I'm talking to them, I'm like, go get professional help. Like, I can only help you guys so much. I don't. I'll tell you my experiences. I'll give you my advice, but you got a lot on your heart. You got to go talk to somebody about that. Even if it's I don't care who the hell you talk to. Just talk to somebody who is trained in dealing with that kind of stuff. And I mean, I think some, like, pastors or religious people, I'm sure, are another outlet. So for that, but just talk to somebody, and when and if someone's talking to you about this, listen and be there, be present. Like,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing is genuinely listening. Like, when I'm pleading or telling
Right.
someone and they're just like half-assing it, it's like you're part of the problem. Like, you're gonna lead me to do something stupid because you're not listening to what I'm telling you. Like, I'm telling you I don't want to do that, be here. Oh, you're just being stupid. Oh, am I? Oh, am I being stupid? Like, and I'm not saying that's how everyone reacts, but like, don't react that way. Or, like, if anything, it's like, don't negate their feelings. Like, that's the
I think
that's the
that's the
biggest
key.
thing
Right.
I can say is, don't negate what they're telling you. Like, don't negate that. If anything, if you don't know what to say, just I'm sorry. But I'm here for you. Like, that's probably the best
Yeah.
thing you could probably say, because you probably don't understand. And you might not, and if you don't, like, just be honest. Like, I don't understand what you're going through, but I'm here and I want to, and I want to help you get through whatever you're going through. And that would be, I mean, that's huge. That would be tremendous.
I think you hit the nail on the head, and that's something that I've learned as I've gotten older, and I've started, you know, I say thankfully I have not had a lot of life experiences like that, and I think where the empath side of me has grown is, maybe 10 years ago I would say, oh yeah, I know how you're feeling, or I know what you're going through because of enter petty thing here that happened, or little thing here that is not even comparable. And now I am much better at saying, like, man, like, I have friends that have lost their fathers, and uh, too many to even name, and it's just like, I don't know what you're going through. I never
That's called
will. Jesus Christ.
what? I mean, I'm almost a founding member, man.
I um I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
I've gotten much better at being like, I hope that I don't know how you feel, and I hope that I don't ever go through what you're going through, but I'm so sorry for your loss or whatever's going on, and I'm here to listen to you if you need to talk about it, because I think that's the key, is just, as a friend, I
Yeah.
might not be able to relate to your exact experience, but I can be there to listen and guide you, or offer, a helping hand, or offer advice, or point you in the right direction of getting help. And I think that's the key. It's not just being like, it's not trying to make it about yourself when somebody says something of that nature, it's not just like, oh, well, I went through that too. But
Right.
it's more of, I hear you, I hear the truth that you're speaking, and, I can keep listening, or I can guide you, because sometimes it's that simple, as somebody just wants to get it out, and they want somebody to listen. Maybe they don't want advice, or maybe they don't want you to say anything. But hey, I can't say this to anybody else, and I trust you in this moment, or whatever it might be, to put this out there. And I think that just listening, truly listening, can go a long way.
You have you have 2 ears and you have 2 ears and one mouth. Listen more and talk less.
You remove the lethal means, you seek help, right? But you mentioned that your drinking continues on for months. What were there any coping techniques or grounding techniques? Did you ever get back to a dark place again in that 6 months before you went to sobriety?
Oh, I was yeah. I've been never like I said, when I did, I would reach out to, like, I was in therapy, so like when 3 times a week, and like I mean I had access to any, because I had telehealth as well, so I could just, if I needed it, I could just get one right away. Like, if I needed to
Okay.
talk to anyone, if mine wasn't available, I could just talk to them. But no, I never got to the point where I like was gonna act on it, or but like the I don't want to be here thoughts. Yeah, that happened a lot, like a lot, and I can't tell you when it stopped, but it was. I mean, I would like to say it stopped before I'd stopped drinking. Like I said, I don't tend to link the two together at all. The drinking and like me stopping drinking and this, like, they they weren't. I don't use the alcohol as an excuse. I ever, like, I mean, it was the trigger, but it wasn't. I would have probably done it if I probably would have done it, you know, sober down the, like, maybe I don't know. I don't want to. I don't even like thinking like that. I don't even like going back to that place, like, because I don't know
It's not
how it
something
would
to
have
think
been.
about.
Like, I don't know, and I don't ever want to know. I don't
Right.
want to be like, because I said earlier, like, oh, I probably wouldn't do it with the alcohol, but I'm like, I don't know. The way, like, looking back, I don't know how the hell I would have done it. I like the way I was feeling. Who the hell knows? Like, if I didn't do the work on myself, if I didn't, like, there's a good chance I wouldn't be here. If I didn't heed all the advice from everyone around me, and no, like, I'm telling you, they almost institutionalized me. Not institutionalized, but like impatient me for this thing. Like my parents were, and my ex girlfriend at the time, they were like, "Does he need to do this?" Like, and they definitely was a conversation they were having that, unbeknownst to me, obviously, like, at the time. And then that happened, and I'm like, "No, I'm doing this. I'm doing XYZ," and I actually backed it up with proof instead of just,
Actions speak louder than words.
well, here's the receipts. Like, here's what I'm actually doing. Like, I'm not maybe not the details, but look, here are my appointments. Here are the notes if you actually want to see them. But, like, I'm actually doing
Yep.
this stuff, and um, yeah,
So, hope, right?
but yeah, hopeful. I've been hopeful, man. Like I said, once I got the help and started working on myself, it was good. It's been good, and like I said, I don't like to even. I'm never gonna put myself back in that mindset, so it's hard to say what it would happen. But, like, I'm not afraid to drink. Like, I'm not, like, I'm absolutely okay to drink and not worry about, like, I'm not gonna
Right.
hurt myself because of where I'm at as a person, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it's at. Like,
Yeah.
where I'm at in life and where I'm at on the work I've done. Like, nothing's gonna make me be like, oh, I don't, fuck this, and do something stupid. So.
But you take your experience, right? And you take your rock bottom, and you come up with a plan. You come up with a system of support to start working on yourself, self-care. You don't correlate drinking to the suicide attempt, but you choose to stop drinking because it's a part of your recovery process, right? It's a part of your self-help. You're working on yourself and getting better.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the small wins. What do the small wins look like after that? And I guess, what has it been? A year and a half?
From what?
The attempt.
Oh yeah, like what, May? So yeah, 15, 16 months, something like that. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's been it's been good, man. Like I said, it was one day at a time. Like the my biggest mantra when I tell people, like, it's a lifelong pursuit. Mental health is not just a sprint; it's a marathon.
Right.
You should be constantly wanting to evolve. You can always wean back. Like, my therapy is not 3 times a week. I go, every 3 weeks now. So and it's more or less
Every
just
week here.
yeah. Well, it's just a check in. Like, for me, like, I could, if I needed it, I have it. But and sometimes it's quicker than 3 weeks, but that seems to be like perfect. I get every, this is what's going on in my life. This is how I handled it. This is how I would have liked to handled it. But that's it. It's just being very self-aware. And knowing exactly who I want to be, and just making sure I'm constantly going towards that person.
What routines or habits have you used to, like, stay steady of going towards that person?
Just focusing on yourself. So, like, obviously, mental health check-ins with my therapist, but daily affirmations, just making your bed every day, and just these small little things. Like, I also, because I read a book, but just just
Because
making,
I
like,
read a book.
well, it's like Make Your Bed by an admiral, and it's just starts with that. It's like, if you start with, like, the small successes, like little wins. It's, how do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So it's just just one step in front of the other, and then sometimes you do take one step forward and it's 2 steps back, but it's just, you're constantly trying to improve. And for me, the alcohol, really, I was just tired of waking up the next day and, like, why do I feel like shit? Like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I was at my best friend's wedding, and I don't remember half of it because of how drunk I got, and I'm just like, this is stupid. Now, in 20 years, when we're in a nursing home, and I, reminiscing about, the good old
I
days,
hope
and
we're
we're
not in
like,
a nursing home in 20 years. Okay?
whatever. Well, retirement community, just, playing golf, like, what's that, 60? I mean, no, you're right. You're right. That's way too young. So in 40 years, when we're
There
reminiscing
you
about
go.
your wedding and all that, like, I'm not going to remember it. I'm going to remember the bathroom stall, because that's where I was half the night, and that was really it. Like, I was like, I don't need this shit. Like, I look back at my whole life, and I'm just like, I drank in college because that's what you do. And after college, I barely fucking drank. I had a kid, so I mean, I didn't drink, and I mean, I would have a beer or two, but it was never anything. And then I when I got divorced, then it was a whole nother thing. And then I met my ex, and, well, I met her a wild time ago, but we actually got together, and then, like, her lifestyle, and I was just like, okay, this is fine. And just, I mean, it just turned into, just, I was just drinking a shit ton because I was always out and never really thought about it. And then when I did, I'm like, this is not what I want. This is not what I want out of life. This is not what I need. This isn't anything. So I'm like, November 2nd is a year with the alcohol. So I'm just like, I'm gonna get to that, and then
Yeah, you are.
I'm just like, I don't know. I like, part of me is like, do I want to have a strawberry daiquiri on a cruise? Yeah, that sounds great, but also it's like, but do I need it? And, like, no, I can have a virgin one. Like I'm the same. If anything, I'm better. Like I'll still do karaoke. I'll still do the other stuff, but it's like I'm actually facing those, those stage fright instead of just masking it with the alcohol or whatever it may be, like whatever inhibition that I would. Oh, here the alcohol made me be able to do it better. It's like no, I don't. I'll just do it sober. Like
I love that.
it's fine. Golfing's been great. Like if anything, the back nine gets better, and because I'm warmed up and I'm not drunk, so I'm just like this is great.
Instead of falling over on the back nine.
Yeah, no, dude, you don't understand. I used to roll up to the golf course an hour before everyone else, go hit balls, and start drinking. So I would have like 1 to 2 drinks before anybody else. Like before, I would be pouring my second drink or third drink on the first tee box, and by hole 9, tank, dude. I found a bottle of Crown in my bag when like, I was just like, what the hell is this? Like,
oh God.
yeah, no, it's the alcohol thing it's probably been one of the better decisions I've made. Like just personally, like it's when we're not supposed to have it, it's poison.
It's poison, yeah.
And so that part of it. Another thing that I do, I started going back to the gym like before this. Like I lost 95 pounds, and so like I'm now back in the gym, trying to get that last 20 that I've always like. My goal weight's always changed, but like the last goal weight I ever made was 205, and I'm like I'm never gonna see that, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna see that. And so that's the focus now is just making sure I'm doing everything I need to do. Every decision I make is about just being the best version of me, and that's relationships. That's everything. Like the best version of me is the decision I'm gonna make. So if I have to take an hour to go to the gym and work on myself, like I got to figure out when I can do that and make that the time. But it's a priority. So it's like I have to make sure I'm making these priority, like making the things that I need to do and I know I need to do to be the best version of me, because the minute I don't, I'm doing everybody around me a disservice. I'm not the best version of myself. I'm not who anyone should want to be around, like, so why? And so every decision lately has just been about that. So,
and I think that's where so many people get caught up and they lose themselves, is they put other priorities first, other people first, other things first, and what they don't prioritize is themselves. And it starts snowballing and snowballing.
That's what it was. I put so much into being a dad, or so much into being a boyfriend, or so much into being a husband when I was married, or so much like I think either talked to you on the podcast or off the podcast about like what I've been struggling with lately is purpose. Like I'm not what I do, right? And I'm very good at what I do. I do and I do enjoy what I do, but it's not who I am. And so just I've been volunteering more. I've been doing a lot more, just trying to just be of service and finding a bigger purpose, and that's been great too. So just
I love that.
Yeah, but that's the main thing, was I just lost myself completely. I didn't know who I was, what I wanted to be, and like now that I know who I am, what I want to be, now it's like, well, shit. Now, like, I gotta. I joined a fraternity because of not just because of the parties and all that, but the philanthropy side of it, like the giving back side of it. So like, I'm like, I done this like my whole life, and like, why am I not doing it now? Especially now that I if anything, I have a bunch of free time. So just finding like the things to give back to, and then that sort of thing. So.
And it doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, like it's never too late to find your purpose and start working and building on yourself. And I mean, I think you have shared, not only your episode, but so much more than that. on talking about being hopeful and the recovery and what comes after and what to look for and how to be a better you. Before we sign off, like,
Yeah, all of those things, all of those situations, everything that's ever happened needed to happen to get me to this point.
yeah,
And I am thankful. I I was telling someone the other night, I'm like, all of these decisions, like, they've led me here. This is where I'm supposed to be. So
yeah. And my question was going to be, before we sign off, is there one last thing that you want to leave with anyone who needs to hear it right now that you haven't already said, or one last thing that you want to leave an honest message to the listeners?
I mean, yeah, don't just don't give up, because honestly, like, after that situation, like, it got worse. I'm not gonna lie, my life got a lot worse after that situation. But it could have been over, and that was everything I kept holding on to. Was like, I could still not be here,
Yeah.
and then because of that, like, every decision since then has been because I'm conscious of what I'm, who I want to be, and it's just they're everything's working out the way it's supposed to. It's Am I where I want to be? Absolutely not. But I don't think I'll ever be where I want to be, and that's the point. So it's just that constant wanting to be better.
I mean, we still have more time on this earth left than what we've already been through, hopefully. So it's about the constant build and working to get to that final evolution, that final space.
And your mistakes don't define you at all.
No.
That's another thing. Like, and give yourself grace throughout.
If you're not failing, I like to say, if you're not failing, you're not growing.
First, okay, you want to know what failing is? Like, what to like fail is? First attempt in learning. So you need to fail to learn, and like I said, I'm grateful for everything that I've been through. It hasn't been the easiest life, but it's also a life, and it could not be. So I am super thankful. I'm definitely hopeful for my future. I think the best is yet to come. I think the next 5 years is going to be a movie for everyone involved in my life. So strap in.
Strap in. I mean, I love it. I love it. I love you. I appreciate you sharing that. I know, well, I don't know, but I can only imagine that it was not easy. See, I'm learning.
Wasn't my favorite. It definitely was not my favorite episode. I'm still gonna. Last week was still my favorite so far, but this one wasn't bad. I will probably never tear up this much ever again on this thing, because this was not easy. I was dreading this all week. Yeah.
Somebody out there listening appreciates you for saying that and sharing this, because if I have learned anything over the last 13 episodes, it's that there are people who are taking things away from these talks, and there are people out there who are going through these real life experiences. So you mentioned giving back and helping. This is a part of that.
If any of our listeners want to reach out to me specifically, just we will get in contact through the podcast. Just reach C-Rod, but honestly, like, if you're good, I'm here. If anybody wants to talk about anything, like, I'm an open book. I don't really mind sharing what I've been through. It's just reliving it is kind of like, this is kind of tough.
Yeah. Perfect segue here for, if any part of today's episode is hit home, share it with a friend, tag us at CrodsPod on Instagram. Help us keep this
conversation going, because it is a very important one. Suicide is never the answer. If you're listening, if you're struggling, reach out to Nick, reach out to a friend, reach out to family. Call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We drop new episodes every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Again, we are live on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and iHeart. If you have a story, a topic, or you just need to vent, if you want to get in touch with Nick about the story he just shared, if you have anything similar, you can email us at crodspod@gmail.com. We do want to hear from you. We are here to talk to or talk for you. We have life experiences, and our safe space is your outlet. If you're not in immediate danger, but you need to talk to someone, we can be here for you. Call a trusted person. Reach out to your local crisis center. We can put the resources, in this episode, in the description, in the link in bio. Whatever it might be, suicide is definitely not the answer.
No.
I don't know it all, but I know that is an actual infinite fact.
I can confirm that is not the answer.
Any last words, my friend?
No. I think I'm glad I'm here, but people out there listening, struggling, you deserve to be here too. So,
absolutely. And until next time, just know that you are not alone.